welcome back to Hot Topics. I'm Sabrina.
I'm Isabel.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Tatiana.
And today's topic is honesty in relationships. Everyone knows honesty is a great thing, but can you have too much of a good thing? For instance, do you tell them everything from a past relationship? If you ask your man if you look fat in these jeans, do you really want to hear the answer? And the biggest question is, if a man cheats on you, ladies, but he only does it once, do you really want to know? So,
I think there can
question.
never be too much honesty, and if you can't handle the honesty, then maybe you can't handle the relationship you're in.
You think honesty is the best policy?
Always. I don't care how mean you come off. I think you're doing the person a favor by being honest with them, because a lot of times I feel like people have tiptoed around things around me because they think it's gonna hurt my feelings or whatever. But honestly, I would have learned a lot faster. I would have grown a lot faster. I would have been a lot happier had they just told me right away. And maybe it would have stung for like a day or two. But the fact that they lied to me and I had to work so hard to realize these things on my own, that's a lot worse.
I really think it depends what we're talking about here.
True.
I think
Depends.
that now you're talking about someone like straight up lying to you, and I think that sometimes it's a little kinder to just.
Somebody could have already lied to you and you wouldn't have known about it.
That's true, but I think
Eventually, you do kind of realize it because
The
let's
truth
say
always comes
in a relationship,
Unless they're very
like I said in the
charismatic.
other episode, I'm selfish. And it took me years to figure that out, and my relationship kept failing and failing and failing. I'm like, why do they keep failing? And guys would never tell me. They would be like, you're a great girl, you're gonna find a great guy someday. And then finally, after reading so much about relationships and trying to find it in myself, I'm like, I'm selfish. And if someone would have just told me
you that.
I would have had. I
Right.
wouldn't have had to suffer so much.
Sometimes though, when you're being brutally honest with someone in your relationship, people don't hear things unless they're ready to hear them.
That's
Like
very true.
literally,
Yeah.
so if you weren't ready to hear you're selfish, that could have been said to you, and it would not have helped you if you weren't ready
But at least
that
if it
moment.
was said to you, once you do start thinking about it, you'll be like, oh, this person did tell me
Sure.
that.
But not
Maybe
everybody
that's
has that
what it is.
mindset. Not everybody has that mindset to actually take in that as constructive
Right.
criticism.
Right.
They won't see it as constructive criticism. They'll see it as an insult.
Yeah.
It's about how you approach the way
Sure.
you do it too. It's not even just being honest. It's just about how you present that information.
Sure.
It's not what you say, it's how
How
you
you
say
say it.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because for me, I'm all about honesty too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about honesty. If you saw the previous episode, you'll know that yes, I have cheated before, but just so you guys know, I was young. But I was honest with everybody. I told everybody. I really did, and they still stuck with me. Why? I don't know why. But
Because I guess they thought they
But
could
honesty-
trust
Right.
yeah,
you.
they thought,
Right.
oh, she
Yeah,
honestly.
Now, okay, so what about?
Okay, here's an example of something that a guy I'm dating asked me the other day how many guys I had slept with before.
Oh,
I don't
Don't think
really
of American
think that
Pie
It's
matters.
none of your business.
I don't think it matters. I think it's not that if I don't tell him, I'm
Did
not.
you ask him back?
No, I don't care because that's
I
the thing. It's
would've.
like I don't. But then he told me. I didn't ask him, but he told
You
me.
didn't want to know. See,
And I
that's
was
my
like,
question.
it
I just
doesn't
wanna know.
matter. It doesn't matter because, well, I mean, as long as it's not the first, like, I don't think it matters. I think if it's the first one, I don't want to take anything.
think it
Me,
does.
here's what it comes down to. You're not
No, it
dating
doesn't.
past me. You're not dating me in that relationship or
You're
this
dating me
relationship.
now.
You're dating me now. So some of my experiences. We'll obviously talk about some of those as it comes along. But I'm not going to tell you about my first sexual experience. I'm not going to tell you about how this guy and I were in bed or that. That's none of your business. It has nothing to do. And
It's
it's
so
just going to get you in
awkward.
your head and make you feel crazy.
Well,
It's so awkward.
I
unless
wanna
you had
know
a
if
funny
I've met
story to
another woman.
share, maybe.
I think in some cases it could matter because I remember one time I was talking to a guy and he told me he had sex with 80 women. And I'm like, 80 women, like, thank
At least
God
he was
I
honest.
found out about this early on because I did
Well-
not want to be with a guy who was. First of all, how do you find time to be with that many women?
Okay.
Obviously, if you're with 80 women, you're not developing relationships with all
Correct.
of them. So
Correct.
this guy was
But-
bad news.
But you can. But by the way, your whole interaction begins and progresses. I feel like if you're gonna be like another notch on his belt, it's kind of depends on how you handle yourself in that relationship. You know what I mean? Like if you give it up really fast, he's probably gonna move.
Right.
He's the kind of guy who's gonna move on to the next one.
Oh,
ASAP.
yeah.
Probably.
Totally.
But if you
Right.
if you really like that person, you gotta hold out a little bit, you know? Like you gotta like
Sure.
You
Well,
gotta-
it depends on how he says it too. If he says
Yeah.
to you, "I had sex with 80 women," woohoo!
And when
That's
you-
different than, I gotta be honest with you. I had a dark past. I have had sex with a lot of women,
Yeah.
but
But
I'm
he
changing.
didn't think it was dark.
Right.
He thought
Right.
it was like
In that case,
whatever.
you're happy he was honest
Well,
with you.
if yeah,
because
well,
that's
if
what
he's
you
like,
proud
like.
of it, that's a
okay.
different story.
We're
But I
not
agree.
And I think for girls, it's like that number is like it's like it. I don't know if it matters. And
I'm
I think
curious
it's more
about
of a
guys' numbers.
judgment. It's more.
Right.
Of a, I feel like guys pass more judgment on girls than girls do on guys.
Yeah.
So if that
Yes,
number
of course.
starts-
I think it
Obviously,
depends
it's
on
a
the
huge
guy.
double standard,
Of
though. But
course.
typically, I think there's a huge double standard there. You're
Yeah.
right.
But
You're right.
So
I'm
that one, I'm a little like around that topic. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie about it, but I don't think that it's relevant to our relationship.
Fair.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. This is my past. My past is in my past. And if you want me to be honest with you, then you don't have the right to freak out at me about it. You don't have the right to judge me on it.
Mhm.
This is me, and you take me as I am.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, everything else. I think that age-old question: do I look fat in these jeans?
Right.
Girls, stop asking that question. Okay, just stop.
I
Stop doing
say
it.
if I ever got fat, God forbid. God
for
forbid. I work out and I eat healthy, so I am the way I am for a reason. But if for some reason I let myself go, I want the guy to be honest
Oh,
with me. Because I will be just as honest with the guy. Because it's just fair. If you're getting fat, I will tell you too. I did not sign up for this. Look at the wedding pictures. That is not what I signed up for.
How you say it, it's not
How you-
what.
Yeah.
Let me be honest with you, ladies. Till the day I die, and honey, I hope you're watching and you take a note. Every time I say, "How do I look?" I want him to say, "Beautiful, the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my entire life." I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what I want to hear. I don't care if I look
Really?
disgusting.
I don't know.
I love it. Please.
I mean, you know, I don't think a girl asks to be shut down. Like they're
Right.
trying to get ready and look beautiful. Now,
And
if
feel
they look,
confident. And
if they
feel
do
confident.
look crazy, yeah, I guess you gotta tell
Yeah.
them. But it's
If I've
Yeah.
got something in my
You say
teeth,
it.
you better
you
tell
gotta
me.
tell her.
You
But
gotta
it's
tell
also
me.
about, you gotta do attack. But I think, okay, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of opposition here. But I just feel like, okay, for example, couples, love makes you fat. I see couples, it does, they eat,
Start to
they
get
stay
relaxed.
home, they watch TV, they eat with each other,
Carbs and carbs
The
and
girl
carbs.
starts eating
they
what
get
the guy
fat, okay, and then
Mhm.
they start getting comfortable, then they
Mhm.
start not having sex for a long
eats. You start
time.
getting comfortable.
Yeah, and then I start wandering. You know what I mean? For me, it's about, dude, let me know. Like, I'm all about improving myself.
But you'll know. If you're starting
No,
to
I
feel
won't
fat,
know.
you'll know it.
I won't know. I actually won't know because recently I found out that I was actually, 10 pounds heavier than I thought I was. And this
Well,
whole
girl,
time I thought I was.
This
Could
is the
be
moral of the story.
She
Buy a
was 10
scale
pounds
so you don't have to
heavier.
ask your men. Like,
I don't know what that
seriously.
means.
I know, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, well, camera already ends 10 pounds, so when I was actually additionally 10 pounds,
I'm with you.
But I mean, girls, if you
Okay,
know,
if the
though.
guy
You
was fat,
know.
are you okay with that?
No, okay, see, I get what you're saying. Like, look, I signed up for, you see the sexy svelte man?
Yeah.
This is what I signed up
Right.
for.
Yeah.
Remember that man? And the guy, same way. Like, he signed up for sexy you, the way you were.
Mhm.
And I
when you
would
guys
want
got
that
together.
sexy me.
He doesn't want you to add weight to your frame. You don't want him to add weight to his frame.
Yeah.
But I think it's also come from a perspective of, like, let's be healthy. Like, let's
Let's
stay
be
Of
active.
course, of
I don't care
course.
if my
healthy,
man gets a
like-
little chubby tummy, but I
Yes.
don't want him to eat so that he dies when he's 55 of a heart attack.
Right.
Because I love him and I want him to be around.
Right.
Now, if he starts balding and getting chubby and hairs start coming in differently, oh well, I love him for better or for worse, I guess.
That's
But
just part of getting old.
If
Like,
he's losing
Yeah, but
self-respect,
that's different because that's aging. But like the
Mhm.
whole thing that maybe fat is such a cruel word, and people are just like, oh.
yeah, we just alienated
Let's
10,000
just
people.
say let's just take the word healthy, okay? Yeah, it is about being healthy. It's about
and your self-esteem is so tied to your health.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like when you start eating better and working out, your
Yeah.
self-esteem and confidence automatically
Oh,
goes up,
yeah.
and that is sexy.
And
no
what
matter what.
absolutely, and what it comes down to is I do want my man to think I'm beautiful no matter what. If I am 50 pounds
course.
heavier, I don't want to be with a guy who's like, honey,
Giving her the
hello.
boo.
I want to be like, oh, you still are the most beautiful woman I've ever
But
seen.
you
So
don't
he
want
should
them to
honestly
just
mean it.
compliment you, just to compliment though. I
Why?
wouldn't like
Why do
that. I
wanna
wouldn't.
compliment him? Just
Well, I
a
don't want him to
compliment.
lie. Like you just want him to just lie.
No,
like,
I'm okay with that. Lie to me.
Okay, well some of us don't want that, and some of us do apparently.
Okay, so on the subject of honesty, let's just
As
agree
we
to
should get
disagree.
into that.
We'll agree to disagree, I think. But for my man, go ahead, honey, lay on the compliment. It's fine with me.
Okay, well, for me, you can lay it out on me and let me know what's up, because I will let you know what's up.
But
So-
like, think about those guys who are like really, really ugly and they're hitting on supermodels. It's because no one's ever told them they're not
An
a
ugly
supermodel.
guy could get with a supermodel.
Mhm.
He has to have a whole
It
lot
happens.
of swag.
I agree. I love swag.
There's so many other
happens.
factors. I think with guys, their looks is like, it's important, but it's also women and men place priorities in different ways.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
some women, they want to be with a super hot guy. They don't care if he's dumb, broke, like, it doesn't matter.
Which got me into a lot of trouble in the years. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true.
But
Oh,
some
yeah.
women, they're like, and I'm not trying to hate, but I'm just saying, some women they're like, my man's got to be balling out of control, and I do
Mhm.
not care about anything else. Like, he could cheat on me, he could blah blah blah. Anything else could happen, but if he takes care of me, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Some women, it's like some balance somewhere in between. It's like they want a strong guy who's
Yep.
sensitive and can hold his own, and lets her hold her
Yeah.
own. Everyone places their
Yes,
priorities in different
yeah.
places. So.
My mom and my whole mom's side of the family has told me to marry a guy that loves you more than you love him.
Oh my
Yes.
god, my mom says
Yes,
that too.
that's so true. That's so
I hate
true.
it.
No.
But I think it's
Why?
not true.
Because
I think it's not
it
true.
would feel like I'm settling if
No.
he
Yes.
loves me more than
Let me
that.
tell you, no.
I wanna love each
I
other
just
equally.
learned the meaning of this, and this is what it is. A woman gives of herself naturally. She gives more than a
Yeah.
guy gives naturally. So
Right.
to even it out, it's not that you're not going to be into it with a man that you love. I'm infatuated with my boyfriend. I think he's the greatest guy I've ever met in my entire life. But he feels like the luckiest man alive. He
But
cannot
don't you
believe.
want to feel like the luckiest woman
I
alive
do,
too?
but the difference is it evens us out because he feels like he could never find a woman better than me in the whole world. I know I could find another good man.
That is so not
He has
fair.
great
That
ones.
is
No, he's
so
a
not
great
fair.
one, and I love him, and I hope I'm with him forever. But it's a little bit uneven, and that's good because what happens is we both then end up giving the same amount, loving the same amount, being infatuated the same amount. It's uneven to begin with. You have to think of it that way. You don't want to be more into this man than he is into you because then he starts pulling away.
No, but then you might start going away, and that's
Yeah,
not fair to him
exactly.
either.
No, we're
You might
perfect.
have
It's an
wandering
even keel.
eyes. You actually might be like, well, you know what, I can do better. And when something does come better,
Well, you shouldn't feel that. You guys, it's a scale. You shouldn't feel like, oh, this guy's fine, but I can take him
but
or
then
leave
how?
him.
Where
So
do you
evens.
gauge
All it
it?
does is it evens it out a little bit.
Why don't you just fall in love with a man who loves you just as much as you love him?
Because who's to say what's just as much too? I mean, that's a little bit, subjective, don't
But
you?
I feel like
There's no number of
that
how much
you
you love
do
somebody.
know.
But you can't
know when
quantify the other
someone
thing
else
either.
is more into you than you are to them. You do know,
Mhm.
and I think you're right. You can kind of judge. Like, you can be like, "Ooh, I am gonna break his heart. We better."
He's way too into
slow
me.
this
Yeah, you know when that
down.
happens.
You know when
Yeah.
that's happening, and then you can I don't know, when it's way closer. It's very.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, there's a
I
balance.
don't know.
There's a balance.
I don't know because I feel like for me, I'm the type of person where like I can jump ship like pretty easily.
Mhm.
Yeah, if
So
don't
I need
feel-
I need someone who I feel like is on my level.
But he will be on your level. He will be on your level. When he's a little bit more into you, then he'll be on your level. You'll feel it.
I think
I think.
the thing that comes out when a guy likes you a little bit more
Mhm.
or enough more than you like him is he tries harder.
Exactly.
And I think that
Exactly.
keeps a woman. It keeps like romance alive.
You hit
It
it.
keeps the guy
Mhm.
like wanting to invest into this relationship,
Right.
which I think to a certain extent you're right. Like women, they will be in a relationship and they'll just do things naturally, just
They're givers.
as-
They're caretakers.
as a woman to take care of her man. But a guy
Right.
who just like cares about his woman
Yeah.
so much will
Yeah, but
you
I
hit
feel
it.
like if you're put in that situation, it's easy like down the line because when marriage comes, you have to admit the relationship is going to be so much different as a married couple or as a couple cohabitating
Mhm.
or as a couple who haven't lived together and they're just in that first 2 years of honeymoon-ish phase, Like, I just lost my train of thought.
You know what? I think actually we should probably wrap this up. We're
Yeah.
already wait. This is a whole other episode we're doing.
Yeah,
guys.
totally.
So the point is, you gotta gauge it for yourself. If you want someone to be super honest with you, you better tell them. And if you want them to be a little bit gentler with you, like sometimes I prefer, maybe you just need to tell them. It's all
Why
about
don't you just being
communication.
honest about being how you feel about honesty first?
There we go. Honest about honesty. Honesty,
Yeah,
honesty,
just
honesty.
honest.
So thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know your comments. Do you want someone to be over honest? Do you want to know everything about their sordid past? Or do you want some things left in the closet where they belong? Thanks so much. I'm Sabrina.
I'm Isabel.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Tatiana.
Thanks guys for tuning in.